Hi, my name is Marcos Alciche, and we just did a video on how to draw tactile squares with Sensational Blackboard. Now I'd like to try to do a quick one on how to draw circles. The circles are definitely a little much more difficult. This requires a little more coordination with the pen on the paper, and really interacting and paying attention to spatial awareness with where your fingers are in relation to your drawing hand. So we have my squares here. I'm going to move over more towards the middle of my paper. I'm going to draw a circle really quickly. So with my non-dominant hand, my index finger, I'm pointing on the piece of paper where I want to start, and then my pen is down. My wrist is pressed down into the Sensational Blackboard, so I'm resting my wrist and I'm not really moving it. I'm only going to move the pen using my fingers in this mechanical motion. So I'm moving the pen in this motion here. So holding the pen and just using my fingers to kind of extend my fingers up and away from where my finger is pointing, making an arc, and then moving my fingers back down towards my palm, and then moving my fingers back down and up towards my pointing finger in more of an under convex arc here, or a concave arc. So just to kind of show it, I'm just doing this motion. I'm just moving the pen in this circle, and we draw a circle. So we start at the pointing finger, we end back at the pointing finger, and you're not really moving your wrist at this moment. You're just sort of moving your fingers to move the pen around in a circle. Now, if you wanted to do it with your wrist, you can lock your elbow down. I'm going to point with my finger again and moving down on my paper. The pen is touching the tip of my finger, and I'm just going to do more of a motion with my arm. So now how my fingers stay locked, my wrist stays locked, but my arm is moving in a circle. So I'm moving from my shoulder, my elbow is locked, and I'm able to move a little more of a point there at the left side of my circle there, but I'm moving with my elbow in the circle from my shoulder, or you can move your wrist in a circle, or you can lock your wrist and move your fingers in the circle. And again, this takes a lot of practice because you want to get that pressure just right as you move around and try to keep it consistent. So I just drew another circle here to the right. And if you want to do even smaller circles, you're really kind of focusing on the finger motion, the finger movement. So your non-dominant finger is always pointing where you want your circle to start and end. And we just sort of do small circles. I'm just going to do like a series of them here so you can observe. So I'm just making really tiny circles, only just using the movement of my fingers and not really moving my wrist all that much. But yeah, the whole point, your pointing finger, your pen is touching your pointing finger, and this helps develop the spatial awareness to move your pen and come back to where you were, and then just sort of, if you happen to have a little gap there, you can just sort of fill that in and just feel what you're doing. Just have your students feel the result of their drawings. And then if they want to do really big circles, of course, have your pointing finger down to really move from your elbow and shoulder. But it's good to start small and then make the circles larger as they get more competent in the motion of the pen. So yeah, that's drawing circles on a Sensational Blackboard.